Tell us, Larry, about the mangoes. So is the mango like the number one fruit in the region? What?
Well, that is the registration office where when people arrive by
Yep.
van from the airport, which is how most of them come, we pick them up at the airport and bring them to the front desk there. They don't actually go inside. We greet them right there in front of that building, and in that parking lot are I think three very large mango trees. And I took that photo when I was there in May, and because they were ripe and they were almost ready for picking, and Chabil Mar's right in the background. So I thought that the photo represented a lot of things about Chabil Mar in terms of um, the feeling that you get from the fresh fruit to the flowers growing up the building and so forth. Um, and the one on the right, um, that photo is from somebody else took that. I don't recall who actually took that one. Um, but uh, I also have to tell you, I didn't select that particular photo to be posted that day. That's why I was struggling with my answer. And all of a sudden, I said, "Oh, I know who put that on there." I subcontract with a social media person because I'm a big fan of social media in terms of pushing out SEO.
Yes.
And so I didn't have enough time on my day to do all the SEO push that I wanted to do via social media. So that's who selected that photo and posted that particular piece on Facebook for us.
So remember, ladies and gentlemen, you were seeing at the very beginning some stunning photographs where 80 people were liking, 117, 119. Mangoes in the front of the building had 187 engagements. Three people shared it. I'm curious if it was staff or if it was locals or whoever. Seven comments. And here's what I'll tell you about that beautiful photograph on the left is Larry's also using depth um, of view. And so he's got the mangoes right close up to the camera, and it now puts some perspective on how far away the resort building is. It also introduces a little bit of that contrast again, because closer in with a little bit less light, you've got the darker fruit versus a little bit of the white, the white light coming from the sun that's kind of washing out the building a little bit. And it just makes the whole picture pop. And now the first thing that I looked at was the mangoes, even though the building covers 2/3, 3/4 of the picture. The thing that caught my eye before even reading "It's a Mango Morning," immediately my eye was drawn to the mangoes because they're in the foreground and they're darker. And now all of a sudden I'm going, wow, this place is really lush. It's got these mango trees right there somewhere. I didn't realize it was a parking lot. I'm like, okay, that's my kind of place.
In the bottom left-hand corner, you can see a little bit of the fact that that's the parking lot. But
Yes.
I'm
You
very
cropped it
pleased.
well.
I'm very proud of the comments you made. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
This doesn't even have the most lush flowers. I mean, this is just a little teeny sample of how lush and green the property is. It really doesn't do the property justice at the right time of year.
But
I have an interesting comment to make on the pictures. I tend to use the pictures of the registration office quite often, even as a lead photo. And many people have asked me, why don't you show the beach? Why don't you show? Because I said nobody has a building that looks quite like Chabil Mar's registration office, completely covered with bougainvillea. And in my mind, it tells people as long as I say that there's somewhere in there a beach, in this case, I wanted to emphasize the morning. I'm sorry, the mangoes. But as long as I make a comment that we're a Caribbean front resort, they're going to say, "Well, where's the Caribbean?" And then they're going, in my brain, I'm saying, "Go look at the rest of us."